up, everybody? This is Furious Francis over here from PlayerEssence.com, and we have another viewer-requested topic, and this one is from AMV Master Light, and he writes, or she writes, Francis, if you're not busy, can you talk about Wii U indie development army more deeply? If not, okay, you seem busy. Well, I am busy getting my Pokemon X and Y review. That will be up on Sunday on my new PE Reviews channel, but I can definitely talk about this. So the first place that I want to go is at the Indiecade, which was earlier this month, where Nintendo showed off a bunch of different games along with other independent developers. Now, as you can see as I scroll down here, you have a ton of great games by great developers like Fuzzy Wuzzy Games and Nicholas and Shunin. There's so many good stuff. Toxic Games in there, Enjoy Up, Neko Entertainment. All of these games are being made on Wii U or being ported over to Wii U because of the relationship that Nintendo's been developing with third parties. Because let's face it, or these indie developers, not necessarily third parties. Let's face it, the big third-party companies like EA and like Konami, they are not really putting resources behind the Wii U. They're not really worried about that Wii U as much right now. So Nintendo has to do these other things to get games to fill in the gaps between the big releases like Super Mario 3D World and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That's why Nintendo said, hey, let's put your games out in December, and because a lot of these games are coming out at the end of the year, and that's going to be after Super Mario 3D World in December, when people can pick up great core titles and also get these little indie games too. And you also have games like Shovel Knight from Yacht Club, which is a fantastic game. And part of the reason why we're getting all of this is because Nintendo's efforts to be able to port over engines to the Wii U. So, for example, the Unity engine is really big. Really big. A lot of Kickstarter games like Taxi Journey is coming to the Wii U thanks to the Unity Developer Toolkit. So all these little things that Nintendo is doing to basically entice developers to bring their games over, and Kickstarter has been huge for Nintendo as well, because a lot of these games get Wii U stretch goals and they hit them because a lot of Nintendo fans know that they're not going to be able to play the bigger third-party games, but they're like, hey, I can save money, I can buy 7 or 8 indie games for the price of one big game and get more gameplay and more hours out of it than I can get out of this third-party game. So some Nintendo gamers are probably going to go with Wii U first-party titles and indie games, and there's nothing wrong with that, because as Nintendo showed off at this Indiecade, they got a ton of great content coming up, and you know what? I really like that Nintendo did that. I think that's going to be the big difference, 2 or 3 years from now, when you look back and you're looking at the Wii U's library and you're like, what's going to be the main difference between the Wii and the Wii U is going to be the fact that Nintendo did their due diligence to make sure indie developers were happy and to make sure that they can get content in between their big releases. Because, like I said, there's not a lot of every single third party is not going to support them like they support the Xbox One and the PS4. No matter how well the Wii U does, there's going to be certain games that just don't come to the system. So Nintendo's doing a good job of getting these titles, and that's why it's also going to be different than the GameCube, in my opinion, because the GameCube also lost third-party support too, but there was no indie shop or anything like that for it to fill in the gaps. Now with the Wii U, you're going to have look at all these great games. You're going to have all these games coming in, to fill in the gaps. So I think it's very good that Nintendo did this. I'm loving the indie revolution, and Nintendo will continue supporting all of these indie developers to get great games in the Wii U eShop. And like SteamWorld Dig is showing, it's selling very well. And if I wanted to highlight one game for you guys to go out and buy, I know this is not a Wii U game, but SteamWorld Dig is 20% off on the eShop right now. That is probably one of the best indie games this year ever made. I'm not sure, but it is a fantastic game. Definitely go out and get it. And also, I'd also like to note that Bit Trip Runner, that's also one of the best games on the Wii U, period. Whether it's a retail game or not, it is one of the best games on the Wii U, period. Go out and buy Bit Trip Runner as well. Alright, so that basically wraps it up here for my indie discussion or topic. Definitely, if you guys have any topics you guys want me to talk about, send me a PM on my inbox or comment below, and I'll talk about whatever topics you guys want me to. Alright, once again, this is Furious Francis telling you to check out my PE Reviews channel. That'll be in the description below. I got my review of Pokemon X and Y going up at some point on Sunday. And make sure you check out PlayerEssence.com all week for all your news, reviews, trailers, tips, and tricks. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Peace.